Stories Podcast, your number one show for everything guitar.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Guitar Stories Podcast. With me is my good friend Dan. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Andy. And welcome to episode 62.
Wow. Is it 62 already? We made it this far?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Then in that case, I got the title wrong because I put 63.
Well, we'll probably count last week's episode with Jack, but we have to redo it.
Yeah. For those of you who didn't know, we had an secret episode with Jack Gardner last week that never got aired podcast version because we had technical support. But without needing technical support this week is our good friend, Mr. Mike Milton, also known as CGS from CGS. Hello, Mike.
Hey, how you doing? Lovely to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for joining us. We were just talking backstage, everybody, about I didn't get to go to the boutique guitar show and the British boutique guitar show, and how much I miss Mike and all our other guitar friends. So we'll get into that tonight, I'm sure. And Mike, you said that you were the only one that missed me, apparently. Is that true?
I miss you like crazy. I can't speak for anyone else. I can hardly speak for myself.
Right. We're going to do some news, Mike. We do some news at the top of the show, and news this week is actually music, believe it or not. Normally it's just guitars this, and someone's done this with some kind of Strat, or someone's done that with another kind of other guitar. But this week, music.
Yes.
There's been 2 songs released this sort of past 7 days that have caught our ears. And we can't play them, of course, for copyright reasons. But the first one is a collaboration between Dave Grohl and Liam Gallagher, which is very, very like a strange pairing. Dan, you listened to it earlier, right?
Yep, I did. I loved every second of it. Say again?
Okay. Didn't move me. I didn't say earlier when we were talking about it, but it didn't affect me at all. I was somewhat disappointed.
Really? No, I wasn't. Not at all. I really, it felt like not one of those kind of forced collaborations that kind of either gravitated either towards that one direction or that other style. But it felt like Grohl and Gallagher, they really found a good mixture between both styles. And it's an easy
that's true.
Easy song. I mean, it's pretty cool. You can I listened to it in the office and that was pretty rad. So I like it.
Were you jumping on your desk?
Yes, big time. I've got the mobile desk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a fly in here somewhere.
No.
Well, this is not a new section of the show where we critique music because I don't think that's something I'm one of my fortes. Mike, have you heard the Liam Gallagher Dave Grohl collaboration?
No, I haven't, but I'm laughing at Valerie's proof of cheese.
Fair. That's fair. We've got some more music in news. We're just one piece of music is not enough for 1 week. I do need to give the Dave Grohl and Liam Gallagher thing another listen. It's not fair to judge on one listen, but maybe I had a grumpy day. Maybe it's one of those days. But Red Hot Chili Peppers are back, playing guitar and bass and drums and singing, and they've got the Black Summer, which I think is brilliant.
Yep,
awesome.
Have you heard that, Mike?
No, I haven't. I'm old. I don't listen to music. I listen to Frank Sinatra and Elvis and the Beatles and who else is old? I can't remember. Yeah, I'm just old.
Okay, well, you've been fairly busy this week, I guess. So I guess
a little bit, maybe a little bit, but I will be listening to Chili Peppers. That'll be so cool. I didn't realize they had new stuff.
Yeah, John Frusciante is back again.
So cool.
And it takes you back into high school days. Yeah.
Indeed.
Or
kindergarten
life for you, Mike.
No, I think probably just 10 years ago.
Yeah. Mike says he's old. He's not that old. There's not much difference between us and Mike. It's very, very minimal, isn't it? It must be. Come on, you're about the
No,
same age
no.
as Jamie Humphries, and he's only got 10 years on me.
I'm exactly the same age as Jimi Hendrix.
That's nothing. Then. That's negligible.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
we were filling out a form online, we'd be in the same age category, you and
We
I.
would
Because
indeed.
I've just
yes.
done that, and that hurts. You know, are you
Hello,
between 40 and
Amanda.
50? Or
Yeah. Literally, you're between 40 and 50. I'm between 40 and 50.
you are.
I'm not. Sorry.
Just
No, young man Dan. Your birthday's in June, also, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
if we wanted to know your birthday, we could probably look up your Instagram handle because it's on there, isn't it?
It is. It's Dan
it
14683. Yeah, it's 14. June 14th. Correct.
Right.
youngster.
So young.
Youngster.
So young.
Yeah.
So lucky.
It's
So
funny that you
much
say
ahead
that.
of you.
It's funny you say that. Andy, you probably know Jeremy, our guy from acoustic guitar, and he approached me today, and he was like, we had a little chat, and then he looked at me and was like, I think we are now the old guys. I looked at him, I was like, yeah, I think so too.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Sorry.
Yeah,
Let's say hello to the people in the chat. I know, Mike, you've been welcoming our lovely guests already. We've got in the chat, I'm going to scroll a little bit further to the top. We've got JC,
Yes.
Sarang, Poo Ninja, Ra, Chris, Jake Lee, Albus Band. I haven't seen Albus Band for a while. Valeria's here, Fergie in France, who's in France. I hope SJ is with you as well. Terry 3Gs. That's a good name. I like that name.
Yeah.
Terry, is he from your channel, Mike?
There's I can see a lot of people from my channel in tonight, and I'm really pleased that you made it over. Terry's 3Gs, and also Rax Effects. Hey guys, really cool of you to come over. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. I hope that that Dan and I can make it worth your time. I know Mike's going to deliver because that's a given.
Bro.
I'm so happy to be here. I forget what I've said on air and off air, which is why I try and keep the off air conversation to a minimum, because I think, right, I've said that, don't say it again.
Yeah, he just sat there and looked at us. It was really disconcerting. He just went,
At least I put a shirt on before we went live.
well, just before that, it was shirt off, and I have to say, I really like the shirt off.
Good.
Anytime.
Well, that's shirts off backstage. That's the rule. Patreon exclusive.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
I was about to say. That's a new category.
Actually, a little bit of news. My mum watches live, so she's probably watching right now. So, hello, Mum.
Hey,
Hello, Andy's
hey,
mom.
Andy's mum. Hope
She's,
you're
over
well.
there. She is. She is very well. I've spoken to her about 4 times today because that's the kind of son I am.
Ah, a good boy.
Yeah. Terry 3Gs has been around the channel for quite a few years. He just doesn't comment. Why not?
There you
Why
go.
not?
What can I say?
Never mind.
He's a pretty good commenter normally. He's got some great ideas.
Has he?
Yeah.
Could you possibly share some with me? I could do with a couple of or a dozen of those.
I'm sure he'll share some with you tonight.
Okay, I look forward to it. For those of you watching the live version, we've got a new system, so the chances of this crashing tonight are less than usual.
Say it.
Never a certainty, but certainly less.
You've heard of tempting fate, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't tempt fate, and it did crash. So I like to live dangerously.
Absolutely.
As do you, Mike, with the spate of recent videos you've been releasing, which we can talk about too.
Yeah, I might be in a bit of trouble, but I think I can dig myself out with a few more videos.
I mean, the stick that you're poking that bear with must be getting pretty blunt by now.
Oh, love you too, Aaron. Albus Band, Aaron is in, which is lovely as always. Yeah, I am not poking the bear. I'm just getting the bear a little bit more tame, because obviously the bear is being a cheeky bear and it just needs taming down a little bit.
I'm just winding you up. I absolutely think you're in the right, and I've been watching your stuff and enjoying it.
I had a video with Henning over the weekend where, unfortunately, as you know, I've got a little bit of a speech issue at the moment, and I was so tired I couldn't speak by Sunday, and he did a video for me, and he said I was completely wrong, because he was pretending to be me, and he said I'm completely wrong about that black guitar. And I had to sit there and smile as Heather. I was Heather.
Oh dear.
Heather
Well, is that going to go on your channel?
Heather Dix. It's going on both, actually. He did one where I was his glamorous assistant, and he did one for me, bless him. So, yeah, it nearly went out tonight. I nearly accidentally put it out as a premiere tonight, and I didn't mean to.
We've all been there.
Yeah, done that before.
Well, oh man, I've put videos live that haven't had thumbnails, text, anything. Just going click, click, click. Oh dear, that's live.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Wrong overlays.
That's a relatable thing to talk about, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Let's talk about some gear, shall we? Should we do our gear picks of the week? I'd like to. Mike, who do you want to hear first? Do you want to hear Dan's pick or my pick first?
Oh, I'd like to see what the people in the chat want to hear first. I think they should tell
Good
us
answer.
which
Good
of you
answer.
should go first.
Good.
See, that's why he's a
answer.
pro. You know, I don't choose. You choose.
I'm
guys,
a pro.
I'm learning a lot.
A pro doesn't
All right,
get paid.
chatties. There's a little bit of a lag, of course, but let us know what you want to hear. Ra is voting for Dan first.
There we go. First one up.
Okay, well, let's just do it on that vote, shall we?
Dan's pick of the week. Dan's pick of the week.
If that just blew your ears, I'm really sorry. I've got no control over the volume of those videos. That blew my ears completely.
That was great.
Yeah. You see, the first
Dan
comment that happened
is-
was, we want to see some Ibanez. So I'm very sorry. No Ibanez tonight.
All you have to do is move your head. Just move your head. You know, oh, look, you've dropped something. Whoops.
Whoops.
There it is.
Whoops. Yeah.
Also, Dan knows that I haven't got my button that makes that ding noise, so I can't
I know.
draw attention to it.
You can fake it. You can just do it like.
Right. Dan, I cannot overlay this with us on this. So your pick of the week is a new release, or is it?
That is the big question. You know, to be fair, I don't really know if it's news. We had a discussion about that. So let's first show what is the pick of the week. The pick of the week is the new Made in Japan Guthrie Govan Chauvel guitar, which I think looks pretty nice. But actually, what I want point our attention to is this, what you can see right there. These are knobs that have numbers and they glow in the dark.
Wow.
No.
And I want to see those lumen lane numbered dome knobs on every guitar. You know, it's like the side dots, the glow in the dark side dots that nobody knew and nobody actually wanted. And then all of a sudden they became industry standard. Really?
We love a knob that glows in the dark.
Let's don't go there.
Sarang says, excuse me. Hang on, where is Sarang's comment? Excuse me, he says. This new system is very interesting. Excuse me, but I have this exact knob on my RG 1070 and my Woody Gem.
Wow.
Lucky you. But unfortunately, it doesn't come stock, right?
Sarang, where'd you get it? Let us all know.
Or I was
We want your
missing out. I
knobs.
don't know. Yeah, give us your knob. So
Yeah, on your wood. Very woody.
But here's the thing about the Chauvel guitar. is that news, or wasn't that announced like 6 months ago already? I mean,
Well, we
any of-
talked about this offline, didn't we, Dan?
yeah, we did.
They've
I was
they've
kinda-
definitely used the same photo, so it kind of is the same guitar. I don't see anything different in the photo. I took the photos next to each other, and they're the same photo.
Yeah.
I love
I
that
mean,
burst, don't you?
don't
I
mind.
think it's so pretty.
Yeah,
I think it's gorgeous, Mike.
super pretty
Mm.
ash top. Also, what I like about
Amazing.
the pickups is that I went with brown pickups. That's not black.
Oh.
That's really brown plastic up there. And well, apart from that, it's a made in Japan Charvel. Sleek looking guitars. Got the Access shredder's cut of hell, or cut to hell, how they call it. Caramelized maple neck, compound radius fretboard. That looks like a pretty interesting and super playable guitar. But on the other hand, it bears Guthrie's name, so
That's
I would
gotta be a good
assume.
thing.
Yeah, I would assume it plays like butter. Yeah.
Apparently, Dan has just got home from the BBGF. Adam, and he left at 7:30 last night. My goodness, that was
Hey!
a long drive.
Where do you live? The moon? With Moon Ninja?
And Michelle's in as well. Hey, Michelle. Oh, awesome.
Adam, we need to know that story. We need to know how many service stations you stopped at and how much money you spent on the coin-operated games machines. That's what I'd be doing. I'm away for a week, love. All right, see you in a week. Yeah, we all know that trick. Ian Johnston is asking if the pickup bobbins are wood or not. Are the pickup bobbins not wood?
No.
Which is a fun way to ask that question.
Yeah.
I love that way of speaking. Are the pickup bobbins not wood?
Oh, we haven't talked
Sorry,
about Boba Fett.
I went all Chewbacca then.
Yeah.
We haven't tried Boba Fett. Mike, do you watch the Book of Boba Fett or The Mandalorian? Or are you still watching like Fred Astaire movies? And
Mainly Fred Astaire and Ginger
that's
Rogers.
fine.
And King and I was watching earlier on Pam and Tommy. That's
Pam and
really
Tommy,
good.
I haven't
actually.
seen that. Is it good, is it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to
Oh, wow.
watch it.
Okay.
Disney Plus.
All right.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's Disney Plus, right? Well, I've just binge watched Reacher, so I need something else to fill those moments where
Well,
should be
that's
sleeping.
that's a good one to feel it.
Everyone is
And-
telling me that it's super good.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
can recommend it?
I can, yeah, definitely. And there's a part of Tommy that talks to him. And I won't tell you which part it is, but you will smile.
Has it got glow in the dark numbers around it?
It does.
Then I know which part you're talking about. Whew. Oh, it's so wonderful to be here. So wonderful to be here tonight. So yeah, Dan, that's a great pick. I'm going to show it one more time if you're watching this version. I think the is it ash? That looks like ash to me.
It's actually a basswood body with an ash top. So he wanted to have like a weight consistency and also that specific basswood tone that you get from it. But I went with the ash top just for the visuals, a little bit of bells and whistles here and there. But again,
Nice
look at that dome knob. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'd like to see the other releases. Like that's a specific guitar, and that grain in that guitar is wonderful. I'd like to see some other ones to see if they're also as gorgeously pretty.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope they
Clocks
are.
in, I think, at $2,000,
Okay.
made in Japan, and should be available.
$2,000
around that time. Yeah,
$2,000. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. But actually, for a signature guitar, that's not too much, really, is it?
yeah, and it's made in Japan, so you
there
can
you
expect
go.
a certain level of craftsmanship. Oh, sorry, I dropped something.
Oh, goodness. Why did I teach him that?
You know what? If you teach me tricks like that, I'm going to use them all night long. All night long. All night.
Well, let me know when you're going to do it, and I'll do that so we can get a proper shot.
Oh, there you go. That's the whole. That's the
Oh,
whole
whoops!
glory.
Oh no, it all went wrong. Sorry.
The whole
Oh, we've all
gambit
switched
there.
around. It's like
Oh,
it's like
hello.
musical chairs.
I'm in
Mike's
the
in the
middle
middle.
now. That's nice. I feel all comfortable now.
Got a Mike sandwich. Oh. Right, it is time for my pick of the week.
Andy's pick of the week.
Blew my ears again. I'm going to have to do something about that. Sorry, everybody. My pick of the week is on the other end of the scale financially. My pick of the week is an affordable guitar from Harley Benton. It is the TE62 double bound, specifically the one in Lake Placid blue. It's kind of sparkly rather than just a flat flaccid blue. A flat placid blue. And the reason I picked this is that I just had the non-double band version, the Shell Pink. I reviewed that this week on the channel, and it's a really good guitar. $150. This new one, the double band, is about 165. So you're paying an extra $15 for the double band. The new one doesn't come in Shell Pink, which is a bit of a shame. But that Lake Placid blue, I had a toss up. I had a toss up between the Lake Placid blue and the Shell Pink one when I did the review, and now they've double bound the Lake Placid blue version. I'm going to have to get that in just to see how it feels. I'm going to show it again. What do you think, gents?
I like the tuning ear on the top of it.
This one?
The tuning ear, yeah. Oh, it's gone now.
There it is. There it is.
There.
This is the advantage of being on the side. You see, you get to be on screen at the same time as the guitar.
It's a pretty colour. Very pretty guitar. And I like the binding as well. And that's really pretty.
Yep. $165. I will say the one that I reviewed, the first one I got had a broken pickup. So I had to return it and get another one. And that's the risk you take when you get budget guitars. But returns process was super simple. Just had to wait another about a week, I think, for the replacement to turn up.
Okay.
If you want to know what it sounds like, it's going to sound very similar to the one I reviewed, except this one has a different fretboard. It's not rosewood. What's the one they use? Is it
Looks like
Roseacre
Laurel or something.
Rose? Is it Roseacre or Roseacre? I never know. People always try and correct me on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't correct you. Whatever you want to call it. It's cheapwood.
Cheapwood, yeah. Oh, it's Pau Ferro. It's Pau Ferro. So yes,
right, even cheaper.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah. Whenever I say Pau Ferro, I always think of Pam Ferris, which really confuses me. Also, because we're not related, but almost in my head it says Pam Ferris fretboard. There's a little insight in what goes on in my head when I talk about guitars. And then I think about Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Definitely. Sorry. Just going to pop off for a bit.
This is going in the wrong
Okay. Dan, what do you think? What do you think, Dan?
I've got questions, actually. I'm reading it's caramelized maple, the neck? So
yeah, which it's slightly roasted. I think they've sort of shown it the flame. I don't know what I tried to look for the specs, and things like this often change with Harley Benton as well, because at that price point they can change. They don't always, define what it is exactly, but it's caramel. It didn't say caramelized; it said caramel. Unless you're reading caramelized, which means they've changed it.
I'm checking the website at the moment. They say like the specs seem completely different. They say it's a Laurel fretboard and not Pau Ferro. They say it's a poplar body, and they say it's a caramelized maple neck with a Roseacre skunk stripe. Well, stripe.
At the very least, it's got specs that are fun to say.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Ferris Blue. Lewitt Ferris Blue.
We just got a super chat, gentlemen, from Michiel.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bless you, Michiel.
Michiel, thank you so much. I wish I had the ability to. Every time I do this, there it goes. There he goes. Would almost
Awesome.
forget this from Studio Camille. Thank you, mate.
Lovely.
Well, that's my pick of the week. We also have a third pick from Mike.
Yeah, my pick of the week is Michiel, because Michiel,
Go on.
he came to the BBGF. I'm not
He
kidding.
did. I was he supposed to turn up?
He was. I meant to invite him ages and ages ago, and I forgot. And Henry and I were having breakfast, and he said, I thought you were going to invite Michiel. And I went, oh, no. And so I messaged him to say, mate, I am so sorry. It completely went out of my mind. And I said, is there any chance you can still come? And he said, what was funny about that?
Your delivery.
He said, yeah. He said, I'll ask work. And then the next thing he said is work check, testing check. What was it? He came on the train, booked tickets check, and he got everything sorted out. And he said, I'll be there tomorrow. And he made it. And it was
Wow.
lovely. He even made a video, which was great.
What?
Because it'd be great to get his channel back up and running again.
Absolutely. We need more bass channels.
We
Especially
do.
ones that cover all your bass needs.
We just need Michiel back, really.
Could
Not
I
more bass
maybe
channels.
Could I maybe sort of inch you in the direction, Mike, of of
okay.
the mic, maybe?
Yeah, okay. Well, you can see that we're all very, very fond of our Lewitt mics. And both Henning and my buddy Adam did a review on an amazing mic that we got to see way back at Gear Street 2. And it was released this week. It's the Lewitt LCT 1040. And there it is. And this thing is simply amazing. It's got so many different combinations. And I have to say, watching the videos, it sounds absolutely amazing. I think all the mics sound good, but this one is pretty special. That's my pick of the
I
week.
agree. It's pick of the week. Well, you had two technically. I mean, that's greedy.
Is it pick of the week or pick of the week?
Yes. We should point out that Lewitt Audio are sponsoring this episode of the Guitar Stories podcast, which is why Dan, Mike, and I sound so crystal clear and pristine.
They must love me for picking their favourite mic.
They must.
Thanks for that, Andy.
You're welcome. And at $3,000, I'm sure they're going to send you one.
Oh, without a doubt. You know, they always send me their most.
It is pricey, but it was pricey, but also it does a lot of stuff that I don't understand. I mean, I it's above me, and you won't be seeing a video from me because it would be me just saying that sounds good, that sounds good, that sounds good, sounds good. It's not for me.
It is expensive, but it is top end and is for the recording artists and people like produce like a pro.
Nice plug.
Yeah, for people that actually know what they're doing. I hope to make some real music one time, you know, but
yeah,
I'm sure I could pop to Vienna and borrow one, you know.
You could, yeah.
In case Valerie's listening. Right, okay. We need to know which one of these gear picks. We're going to take Michiel out of this list, and I'll explain why in a second, Mike. We buy something, we borrow something, and we burn something. So we've got 3 gear picks: the Lewitt 1040 microphone, we've got the Guthrie Govan signature guitar, and we've got the TE62 double barrel from Harley Benton. and it's time. I'm just going to play the song. Watch your ears. You ready? Here we go.
I borrow or burn.
Sorry for that. Yeah. And then what we do, Mike, is we guess what the other one's going to do. So, buy, borrow, or burn. You might have played a version of this kind of game at school where you might have chosen certain things with certain people, for example.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Okay, good. Do you want to take a guess, Mike, at what Dan or I would buy, borrow, or burn? Or do you want to choose someone first and then take a guess?
No, let the chat choose one of you.
Still so diplomatic. All right, I'm going to look into the chat. And
First one
Jake
to
Lee
say-
guitar, burn
Oh.
the HB, borrow the GG, buy the mic.
There you go. Awesome.
All right. Fergie in France is going to buy the Chevelle, borrow the mic, burn the Harley Benton. Melogify, hello Melogify, will buy an Ibanez. Come on. Borrow the Harley Benton and burn the microphone.
Oh,
Is he saying that Chevelle looks like an Ibanez?
I don't know.
I wouldn't burn the 3 gram mic.
Can you clarify that for us? Sarang would buy the heck out of the Guthrie signature, borrow the Lurett mic just to see that tube glow, burn the TE62 so I can immediately put it in the actual Lake Placid and see what that finish looks like underwater.
That's
A
great.
lot of thought went into that.
Yeah.
Well, that's new. Buy Mike, borrow Dan, and burn Andy.
No. We ain't gonna let him burn you.
I think
I'm
I'd probably
too
burn longer than you
expensive
two.
to buy. I'm too expensive to buy. I'm sorry. Too much money. More than
One
that
more
mic.
from Paul Crane would buy the HB telly, borrow the mic, and burn the Chevelle. I think there's some tough choices this week. So I'm going to guess for Dan. I'm going to guess that Dan would buy the Chevelle, borrow the Harley Benton, burn the mic just because he has no use for it. There's no, the burning is not. We're not actually going to burn it, Louis Audio. We're just saying that, or I'm saying that I don't think Dan has a use for the mic of all mics, the king of microphones.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get close?
I think that was pretty spot on. I'm intrigued. I love the mic because I have no clue what to do with such a powerful mic, especially with the tube function. I think that would also look pretty fancy in the studio. But with that said, I don't also like to waste too much money on stuff that I don't use. So yeah, I think buy the Chevelle, borrow the Harley Benton to see how it stacks up against other tellies and AZS, etc., and then burn the mic. Yeah,
Other tellies such as the the Fender, no, not the Fender.
The
the
Ibanez AZS, yeah.
You went straight there. All right. I'm going to guess. No, I've already guessed. Dan, you want to guess for Mike, and then Mike can guess for me?
All right.
Go on, then. Do that way.
All right. I think Mike would buy the telly, borrow the mic, and burn the Chevelle because he has no use for it.
Spot on.
There you go.
Spot
Well done,
on.
sir. Well done.
I think Andy would buy the mic because he's got lots of money. I think he would borrow Michelle because Michelle's good for that. And he would burn everything else, including me and you, Dan.
I know. Well, no.
I mean, it's a creative answer.
No,
A survey says
I think
no.
you would. You buy the Harley Benton, you borrow the Guthrie, and you would burn the mic.
I'm going to have to say that's not quite right.
No. Wow, I'm surprised.
I would borrow the mic
Right.
but have to borrow someone to show me how to use it and how to get the best. Basically, I have to go to a
Monsieur.
studio where they can use it, and I just sort of sing and mess around. But the real question is whether I would buy or burn the Harley Benton or the Charvel. So I've already got the pink Harley Benton that I did buy. That's tough. That's tough. I think I would have to burn the Harley Benton just because I kind of guess I know what it feels like. I have no idea on the Guthrie Govan. If I had the money, I'd buy that. But realistically, it's not going to happen.
And you
financially.
borrow the microphone and Valerie to show it to you.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it's
Borrow
capable
Valerie.
of.
She can
Good
carry it
plan.
because I know that it's really heavy.
Good plan.
That's the one thing I can tell you. The 1040 is extremely weighty.
Awesome.
Right. Well, I guess we better move on to our main subject of the week,
Yeah.
which is our lovely guest, Mike Milton, CGS, and talk about the British Boutique Guitar Festival. I can't say, is it BBGF?
Yeah, BBGF.
I
Is
said it
easy.
right.
Yes, you did. It's the
Yeah.
what did Henning call it? The Big Beautiful Girls Festival. Yeah, he said I tricked him into coming because that's what he thought it was.
All right. What was the girl count at the BBGF? All right, sausage
Zero.
party.
It was.
Big zero.
Every-
Big fat zero.
everything's a sausage fest in the world of guitar and gear. Yeah, I don't think we had a single girl there other than my daughter, Emily. And she had fun.
Okay.
But
She can
wa-
sing really nicely. Is that the daughter that sang on her single?
Yeah, she does. Yeah,
Great.
yeah, she's
She
a
sings
good
really
girl.
nicely. If you haven't heard it, go
Oh.
and listen to it on Mike's channel.
Thank you. I'll
Um,
have to get
Yeah,
an
see, I
LC.
do keep up with what you do, Mike. You're one of the few channels that I can actually stomach. What I mean by that, and be polite, is that I maybe we can talk about it, but I like the tone of your voice, regardless of what
Ah.
health state you're in. I like listening to you, and
Bless you.
Um,
That is very kind. That
put it
makes
on-
my day.
yeah. So, Mike, could you tell us what BBGF really is for people that don't know?
Yeah, okay. So it's a 3-day event. Really, it was an idea that obviously came from Henning because of GitCon, TGU, 42 Gear Street, and all those great things. And I just felt that the UK doesn't have one. They're all in Germany. And I just thought, well, we won the war, so we should have one in the UK.
Oh, wow.
This new Mike doesn't care, does he?
We had so many jokes about the war with Henning, as you can imagine. So I'm just following it on. But
Okay, that's okay.
no. Oh, Bronze Snake's in. Hey, mate, good to see you. Yeah. So joking aside, it's a 3-day event with British brands, all from the UK and Scotland. But I think that's part of Britain, isn't it?
Hang on, isn't Scotland in the UK?
I think so. Yeah. So it's all about the best of British and
Just going to make a list, Mike, of how many people we can upset in one episode. So that's
I
Germany, Scotland.
Yeah.
Okay, please continue.
Yeah, I'll try and get every nation in if I can, other than the
Good.
Belgians, because I love the Belgians.
They make great waffles.
They make great French fries. Oh no, I can't say that. Yeah, so it's a 3-day event with 6 brands each day. Rather than having all the brands there the whole time, we just have a few each day, and that allows us to make videos for all of them. So it's a bit of fun, and every day we include and bring in all of the subscribers by having a live show. And we did a jam on the first day, which went really, really, really well. We did a jam on the second day, which was so distorted, I had to delete it from the live show. And then on the last one, because Tom was here from Elevated Jam Tracks, we got Henning and Lee to play along with one of his tracks, and Henning managed to break Henning broke about 5 guitars in the whole event, literally, and I'm not kidding, he broke guitars. So can I confirm Bangers and Mash were served? No, not at all, but we did take Henning for fish and chips and a curry. And a full English breakfast yesterday. So, yeah, we had a jam on the last day. And then we have a little section where we basically answer questions and get any of the builders in to have a chat if anyone's got any questions with them. It's really trying to get everybody involved. And it's really tricky when you Perfecto's in. Hey man, sorry, I should stop looking at that.
Mike, focus. We're trying to promote for next year so that more people can do your show.
Sorry, not next year. July,
this year, right?
July.
No way, July.
Yeah, we're doing it twice a year. We're making it a winter and a summer. I don't know of any other event that might do a winter and a summer show.
Never heard of something like that.
No.
I do miss those British summers.
Oh, well, hopefully you can make it over.
Well,
that would be
if
so
I'm invited.
cool.
I could, I would love to join up.
Of course you're invited, brother. Of course. You were invited this time. It's just the UK was being very difficult about letting people with names beginning with A in. So you couldn't come. Yeah, if your name had been Bert, you'd have been there.
There you go.
Mike, I've got to go back to something you mentioned earlier. You said Henning broke 5 guitars, and then you did not elaborate. Please elaborate on Henning breaking 5 guitars.
Well, you could see one of them in the last jam on the Sunday live show. He literally broke a trem arm. He did a dive bomb that was so hard and fast that the trem arm came off in his hand. There was a 5 humbucker guitar there, and he managed to break the switch on the bridge humbucker, so none of us could review it. He managed to.
Did he get to review it and then break it? Or
yes, he was the first, because obviously everybody wanted to go to Henning because he's the big channel with the big cheese, proof of cheese. And so they were all gunning for him. And he broke so many guitars. I think it was on purpose so that we couldn't review them.
Sounds
there
right.
You go.
Sounds right.
He wanted it exclusive for his channel. Proof of cheese.
Okay, well, we had a question in the chat, and with the new system, I've lost it. But someone was asking for, is there a hashtag that someone can find all the content that you created at the BBGF?
Absolutely. This time it's hashtag BBGFest2, and you should be able to find it. But if you can't, the website will be updated very soon with the with all the videos from the show. We've got all of last year's videos on a playlist, and they're all on the current website, which is bbgfest.co.uk.
And I'm on that website. I
you are indeed.
With
You're
the fro.
there as attending.
With the fro. Yeah, sans fro. Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. Was it a success, Mike?
I think it was a real success. Obviously, there were some pretty new brands there that are really just starting out, and they got some great stuff and some great advice from well, all of us, really, mainly Henning. But as you can imagine, Henning's good at advice, and he's very efficient as a German. So yeah, good advice. All the brands seem to enjoy it. They all got plenty of videos. Thank you, Valerie. There you go. There's a link in the comment section. And yeah, I think it really went well. I have to say, I am absolutely shattered. I had to literally tear my house apart to make it work. Usually we have it in a marquee in the garden for the brands, but actually I think I'm going to stick to having it indoors because having 6 rather than 8 brands really worked out. They all got videos, whereas with 8 brands it was tricky to try and get everybody in. So I think I'm going to stick with that format. 18 brands over 3 days. Plenty of video content for the YouTubers and plenty of exposure for the brands.
And how many YouTubers were there?
We had me. Oh, I don't count really. I'm not really a YouTuber. I'm just a pretend YouTuber. We had Henning, Tom James from Elevated Jam Tracks, Adam Steele from Hot Pole, and Leaf Huge. And of course, we had Andy the Guitar Geek there in spirit. And we always, every video we did, we said, Andy should be switching this one.
Oh, yeah. So that's why I'm needed in July. Is it? I get it.
No, we really, really look forward to having you in July. If you can, that would be great, mate. Really great.
Well, currently, everything points towards me being there, so I see no reason why not. The only reason, I mean, I'm running out of excuses, really. I mean, I had to really talk to the Austrian and British government to get me out of this one, but July seems as if it really seems like I can't turn it down.
See, I only want to give you a hug, and that's it. So if you don't like it, I can always wait until Gear Street to give you a hug.
I will be there in July. I will be there to collect said hug.
Good man. Good man. Did Henning buy all the guitars he broke? No, he threw them back at the manufacturers and said, "That is cheap." What he says. I don't say it. I never swear online.
No, of course not. Or in real life. So, I mean, honestly, just back on the Henning thing.
Yeah,
that's a good test. If someone can break a whammy bar or a switch or something like that, someone who knows what they're doing as well. He's not out to break things, but he is out to test them. Yeah. The guitar obviously is not built properly.
Exactly.
Or well enough.
It was what Henry would call a cheap ass bridge. Oh, I said ass. Sorry.
At least you didn't mention the war.
You know, one of the brands that was there, it was so funny because all of their guitars were named after British aeroplanes from the Second World War.
Whoa, okay. That's an interesting approach, yeah.
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 Henry loved it. He loved it.
I haven't heard from him in a while. Dan, I feel like I'm monopolizing Mike here. Is there, can I take a back seat for a minute and chill?
Absolutely. Let me. I was actually wondering when you came up with the idea and you approached Luthiers about hosting such an event at your place. What were the initial reactions? Because now this was the second installment already, but you already did the BBGF in the first place.
Yeah.
How did you kind of pull that up to kind of start from scratch and kind of reach out to luthiers and find the right guys that also would click with YouTubers, because I would assume that not every luthier or every brand is kind of suitable for such a concept.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I am not a Henning. So thankfully, I've got a partner in crime, Lewis Stroher from LT Custom Guitars, and he's very well connected from all the trade shows he goes to. So he deals with the brands, and I deal with the YouTubers.
Okay.
Super donkey, indeed. Super donkey. So yeah, he deals with all that, and he brings the bands on, and I just have fun and hang out with YouTubers, which is my favorite thing to do. I hate gear, I hate guitars. I just love hanging with YouTubers and others.
Of course. Of course. And how did you, like, I understand it the way you're also rotating, so luthiers do not necessarily come back for the next show, or how's the concept planned? Because there must be a plethora of different luthiers from all kind of styles and building concepts.
Totally. We did have a couple that came back. Rob Dix and his daughter Heather came. I'm his daughter Heather, by the way. And his amps are fantastic. We had CMG back again because he enjoyed it so much first time. He wanted to be part of it. And also TJS we have back as well. Obviously, Lewis is there every time because he's my partner in crime. But we do try to keep it a good turnover of different brands, because it's as you say, there are so many out there, and it's really good for them all to have an opportunity to come along and meet up with the YouTubers. It's very much like Henning does. It's all about giving the brands the opportunity to make friends and to gel with YouTubers, with the view to maybe getting them to make videos for them and building those relationships, which are really important, as you know, exactly as we did when I met you, Dan, and it was great, really good. So we're trying to do something very similar in the UK, and we hope it works. It really is a Henning concept. I can't stress that enough. You know, I have to acknowledge and thank Henning for the idea, and he was very, very supportive. Before the first one, we had probably about 3 hours online where he gave me a lot of really valuable, amazing advice that I completely ignored and did it completely differently. But it was great advice, and had I listened, the event would have been much better.
You got me right at the end there, my friend. Question. Don't have to say that before you ask a question, do you? Sorry. Here's just a question. Brexit, to bring that into there. I live in Austria. Henning is from Germany.
Yeah.
It is tough because I do get stuff from the UK infrequently, but every time it is a pain in my neck and a pain in the brand's neck. Is it something that might be happening to ease, these brands? Are they interested in working with people in Europe, or are you trying to keep it more British based? And Henning's there because he's a friend on a larger channel, and I'm there, for whatever reason. But the question is, Brexit, is that an issue? Was it approached?
No. In short, no. The big problem with Brexit is everything is so tricky to get through customs and all that nonsense now. I don't know why we left. It was silly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't really want to get into the politics of it. It's just the results are more interesting to me than anything else.
It is tricky. I do hope that the brands will send things abroad for sure, because at the end of the day, the idea is to give them that exposure and that kind of exposure, and they have to get product out of the UK in order for it to be reviewed across the even the States. There's a lot of big YouTubers in the States, and I think they have to get their product out there.
So, I mean, it's not even about just the review, and YouTubers take the YouTube and review out of it. It's selling things to people of the world. And I think what there are a couple of brands, pedal brands. There's Anasounds in France and Tate Effects in the UK. And what they did was they exchanged products. And so Tate Effects handles, or at least this was the case at some point, handles Anasounds sales in the UK, and Anasounds sell stuff for Tate Effects in Europe, and that seems to have worked really well. So a kind of workaround.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those sort of relationships are really good. I think it's very important that even though we have moved out of Europe, I think it's so important we're not xenophobic, that we maintain great relationships. And for example, we were delighted that Engel were one of our supporters and sponsors for the show. They really did help out when some of the British brands were not able to. So we don't actually we don't look at it as just a British thing. It is for British brands and to get their exposure up, but it's certainly not xenophobic.
No, didn't sound it.
No.
I like the fact that, do you know something, Mike? I keep wanting to say the Great British Guitar Off. Like I keep getting confused with the
Bake Off.
Great British
Yeah.
Bake Off, and the British Boutique Guitar Festival. I want to put great at the beginning, which makes it sound like Bake Off, which
Well, you can put great at the start. It was great, and it will be great. In fact, maybe we should change it to the Great British Guitar Off.
you can't, because I own that now, and it's very
Oh.
expensive to license.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it sounded like you were having fun. The fact that you put it in your house. So, where were your family during this time?
Mainly upstairs.
They were still there.
They were on Thursday, Friday, and then they went to stay with Grandma on Saturday and had lunch and came back late Sunday evening. But yeah, my boy totally was in love with Henning and just talked to him 19 to the dozen all the time, and they got on really, really well. Henning treated him as if he was a dog, because obviously Henning loves dogs, and it was great. Ben learnt to fetch sticks in the garden, and very good.
Good boy.
It was great.
Did you let him sleep in the house?
Ben or Henning?
Either or.
Yeah, they both slept in the house, of course. But no, it really was. Again, a little bit like Gear Street is for us guys. It was a real good way of coming together, having a good time, and making friends with brands and with YouTubers. So it really does work. Yeah, Henning did drink all the coffee. He drinks so much coffee. He said to me, "I've never drunk this much coffee." He said, well, I won't go into what he said, but I'll tell you off screen.
I'm pretty sure I can guess what he said.
Yeah,
Knowing him and having drunk all that coffee.
Yeah.
We should have had Henning here just to join in the fun and firstly take all these compliments, but also explain the 5 guitar debacle. What do you think, like the future of the Great British Guitar Off? Sorry, because you have a house. Henning had to buy the whole street, for Gear Street.
Yeah, I don't feel the need to expand it. In fact, in a way, we're kind of compressing it a little bit because I think it worked better with 6 brands per day than 8, as I said earlier. So I'm intending to do it in my dining room each time. That was a pain in the neck to clear out dining room table and all the furniture in there. Yeah, I think it works a lot better doing it that way, and it makes sure that all the brands get their videos.
That's good.
Dan,
So-
may I ask you a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you were at Gear Street representing Ibanez, that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, pressed to the wrong button. Yeah, you were at Gear Street at Hennings representing Ibanez and making sure Ibanez got what they paid for. Do you think the certain brands per day is something that could be useful for other guitar shows? Because for me, that's a wonderful idea. But what's your thoughts on it as a brand to put on your Dan hat?
I like the concept a lot. I mean, for us, usually we bring a lot of gear, more than we should necessarily bring, just to have a plethora of stuff there that people can choose from. With the events, the longer they go, the less focused people are usually. Then they just hop on and off pools and play crazy games and stuff like that. So I really like the concept of being focused. But with that said, it's also, from a logistical standpoint, it's got to be well planned. And with Henning, he's got the whole street, and he basically has the people there, and then they mingle and do that stuff by themselves. Whereas if you're basically sitting on Mike's lap, in his dining room, you got to be very careful who to invite, and also you got to kind of streamline everything. So I think it's BBGF might be smaller, but I think from a logistical standpoint, it's quite similarly challenging. But I don't know. I think for a big brand, usually the big brands, they would expect 10 YouTubers to get like a certain amount of exposure, and also like the big ass YouTubers with hundreds of thousands of subs. Whereas I'm personally, and that better than many others, I'm a big fan of what the technical term is probably micro influencers, with smaller channels, with more niche channels, to work with them, because they have a very, very they have a small but very focused, high involvement following, and you can talk with them on eye level. You don't have too many, cluttering losses of people that are, subscribed to the channel because they like the occasional joke, or they, watch a video every now and then. But these channels, they have a dedicated following that, basically watch every day what's new, basically like your fan base. And so I totally get that both concepts have perfect value for different brands, depending on the scale. Fender might probably not attend such a show on such a small scale, whereas for a luthier that has only a handful of high-end guitars, it's just the place to be, and he would be overlooked at an event like Gearhead University or 42 Gear Street.
Very wise words there, Dan. I think they are different events. You're right. And the thing is, we don't have big brands. There was talk of PJD coming down and or sponsoring it, but they are such a large company now. They really don't need this kind of exposure. This is really for the small boutique brands and beginner guitar luthiers, those that have just started, and to give them a little bit of exposure. Whereas I think definitely Gear Street is lovely, meeting all the big brands, people like Friedman and yourself with Ibanez and all those big, and hopefully Henning might get Fender there at some point. But Fender aren't a UK company, so they would never be invited. Sadly, Ibanez aren't the UK company, so and you're all much too big. So this is much more the little working out of their garage, maybe making 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guitars a year, and little brands that really need the exposure and couldn't also afford to pay for maybe more than one day anyway. So it kind of works, and I made it that way so that I didn't tread on Henning's toes as well. I wanted to keep it British, not for any reason other than the fact we're in the UK. And I also wanted to keep it really small so it helped the little builders that don't get that kind of exposure at Gear Street and GitCon and TGU and all that good stuff. So hopefully it does the thing for the UK. We might go a little bit bigger and have people like PJD there, because they really do want to come along and get involved. Apparently Dave Lewis thinks they pay us $350 to come to the BBGS. I don't know where you got that from, but thank you for that, Dave.
Well, I can tell you that that won't happen again, Mike, for the reason that he's not welcome here anymore. I don't ever do this. I don't do this very often on the channel, but some people misbehave, and it's not because of you, but for external reasons. That's what happens when someone misbehaves on my channel. They get kicked out.
Well done, that man.
I will regroup, because people like that annoy me, and he's pushed it a little bit too far recently. So yeah. Goodbye.
I think some people do get a little bit worried about being too British, and I'm not a fan of that either.
Is there such a thing as being too British, Michael?
Well, yeah, I think we should all be much more cosmopolitan and much more outward focused.
Yeah.
Oh.
All I can tell you is that there are loads of guitars in the world. Why would you want to limit yourself to just ones made on an island? Not that there's anything wrong with the ones made on that island, but there are loads more, and more guitars is more better.
Of course.
Yeah. So the reason I asked you the question about I posed the thing about the one brands per day rather than brands for the whole event.
Yeah.
Is that, and Michiel is in the chat, so maybe Michiel, if you're actually listening, then maybe you have an opinion. I find that other events, not just Henning's, but I find that there sometimes is a lack of focus. And I was looking more at the point as other events could learn from what you're doing, Mike, and actually allocating. Michiel's going to hate me for this. Allocating not necessarily time slots, but certainly focus points. So that it's almost easier to organize. And I do not know what I'm talking about there, because I have not organized a show, but I do know that I've been at these shows, and then I've kind of seen things get forgotten, like brands get forgotten, or some brands not being as pushy as others.
Yeah, there are always brands that are very, very pushy and might get more videos.
Helpful. Sorry, I meant to say helpful.
But yeah, I think having just 6 brands there per day makes you focus on those 6 brands, because you know they're not going to be there tomorrow. So you really do, if you want to make a video with them, you have to do it. And it does make it that bit more focused, I think. And I don't think it will work at Gear Street. We had this discussion with Henning, and it's a different beast. It really is, and that was done intentionally so as not to tread on toes.
Yeah, cool. I just think as the YouTuber, I would do that myself. Like if I pretended that these brands weren't there on certain days, that's a great way for me to organize myself. And I think that's all that needs to be done, is I take that upon myself to do that. That's not a very relatable thing to talk about, but it's certainly something that's just helped me, and I've used this show to help forward myself personally.
Well, if we can help, we can help.
Thank you.
I think if I might just add, I think like because you asked for the like business standpoint, I think for a smaller company, it's an ideal means to kind of get exposure for your brand. Because if you consider pricing for print ads, if you consider pricing for, let's say, approaching a renowned YouTuber and asking him to do a video, this doesn't come cheap necessarily. And I think if they come to your house and whatever fee they pay, I think that's worth the money, because they get a lot of exposure, and even more, they get to experience YouTubers and start a relationship. So it's not necessarily just the ending of what's happening. It's also like the start of a conversation and follow up on that. And this is, what these kind of events always bring about. It's not necessarily just a video on the spot. And, it's helpful, of course, but the quality will never be as good as in a proper studio. If Andy is, or if you, Mike, if you have your fly rig with you, you're one of the, the busiest guys on such a show, because you're reviewing everything and you're always in a corner trying to get a new video out. But if you're in your used surrounding and you have all your camera gear already set up, that's a much rounder, much more high quality content, because it has to, because that is just where you produce. But it still is a very good starting point to kind of jump into the wild and get the word out that there's another brand. And basically, if you look at brands like PJD that you just mentioned, they were also small at some point and needed that exposure to kind of grow.
Yeah.
So sure. I think it's absolutely valuable for a brand, and it always comes down to capacity and to exposure. And I think if you have limited capacity and you want to keep it rather tidy and clean and small, that's completely fine, because then the brands that will come, they know what to expect and they can focus on exactly that. And and for instance, if I was to come, sorry, just to add one more, if I was to come, I would just bring, let's say, 3 custom shop Ibanez guitars, and that would be it. Yeah, that would be it.
Perfect. And that would be just enough guitars to do a good amount of reviews on. And we don't make any bones about it. Let's say that Dave's right in that if the brands pay $350 to come, Henning's videos, he's a lot more expensive than that. I'm a lot more expensive than that. I guess Andy is probably a lot more expensive than that. So if they even get one video done in the day, then they've got great value out of it as well. And that is the point. It's about great value, giving them that opportunity. And I think we've got it about right. We don't make a lot of money off of it. It's a very expensive thing to put on, as Henning will tell you. We've got to think about putting everybody up, getting Lewis's family. We had to put them up in a B&B because a lot of the YouTubers stayed there, so we were all local. There's that. There's the food. There's travel, there's all those bits that people don't realize those costs are involved. And I think keeping the value at that sort of price point is really reasonable. And I don't think anyone can really be upset with getting 2 or 3 videos for that sort of money.
Yeah, as you said right at the top of the show, Mike, it's also, and possibly more so, about building relationships and getting actual face-to-face time. And also, what I find from doing shows like this is the energy it gives me. It taketh away and it giveth. But it gives me energy to hang around with other people that understand. And luthiers must meet other luthiers at the very least that they otherwise would not normally talk to. And therefore, get a switch broken by a German YouTuber and find out they need to find a different way of using switches. That's invaluable information and an invaluable experience.
Totally. It's like when we all meet up at these YouTube events, we all do the same job and we all understand each other. And it's the same for the luthiers. They learn a lot from each other as well. So that's great.
And Mike, do you have any because like this is a great place to get exposure? Did you try to get in contact also with magazines or online magazines, like the old school media?
Yeah, we did. We had a guy there to write an article about the whole situation. And I think I've still got his card in my pocket.
Oh, that's poking the bear, so to say.
Oh no, sorry.
Nice.
I changed my trousers. I went to No Tom Guitars yesterday in London. I have a funny story to tell you in a moment.
All right.
Yeah.
You tease.
It's got to do with a certain guitar shop in London.
Oh, all right. We've only got about 15 minutes left of the show, so I think we should just jump straight to that story, Mike. I think people are
Shall
going
I
to want
tell
to
you
know.
now? Okay. Well, we went to Denmark Street because I wanted to take Henning to all the guitar stores that are left there. And there's not many. And there is one store where a certain other YouTuber went to see a certain other guitar. And we saved it till last. But I have a feeling that maybe some of the other stores recognized me and phoned them because when we got there, the doors were locked.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah. So yeah, we didn't get to go in the guitar shop that begins with a 6 and a 6 because well, Adam knocked on the door and said, "Are you open?" And they went.
So they didn't even say anything.
Oh, but
Okay,
there
well
we go.
that's interesting.
There we go.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that big old powerful Mike.
Yep.
That'll be in the video soon. And I'm sure they'll make a comment and say, no, we always close early on a Monday. Who
Wow.
knows?
Who knows?
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, okay, well, thanks for that little tidbit and little exclusive jolly piece of information. Wow, okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting some kind of story, not like a superhero version, but that's odd. What's it like in Timpanelli these days?
These are great. Go here. Rather
No
than
Tom.
anywhere else. Yeah, No Tom guitars are great. They were so welcoming and gave us all a card and said, come back anytime. You can video in here. You can do what you like. But it might have been them that rang the other stuff.
God, to be so omnipotent, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, no, it's all good. I honestly don't know that it was that at all. They may just have been closed because they were doing some work on a guitar at the time, and it might be that there was only one of them in the store, so they couldn't have people in asking questions when they were setting up a guitar. I don't know. I don't care either.
Yeah.
let's give them the benefit of the doubt, but it is at the very least an amusing anecdote.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, there will be lots more videos coming about that particular story.
I'm sure.
And
there
maybe
will be.
I definitely want you to get to the bottom of the Paul Davids, Jimi Hendrix or not Strat. That is for another day when it comes to Guitar Stories podcast time. But I'm looking forward to seeing you in July. When is the next BBGF? What dates do I
Well,
need to save?
we haven't set the actual dates yet. We are looking to see what schools are doing. We're also very aware that there is an extra bank holiday this year due to the Queen being on the throne for 70 years.
right.
And we're trying to avoid any of those dates, and also
Right.
we will also look at things like I think a lot of people in June are going to NAM, and we're going to try and place it so it's kind of between NAM and Gear Street.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds like a good plan.
But as
My
soon
mum's
as I know
birthday's
the
on the
dates-
14th. If you could do it around the 14th, that's Mum's birthday. That would
Right.
make me quite popular.
What day is that?
Zero idea. Just Google when is Andy's mum's birthday. It'll tell you.
I'll
right,
have a look at that.
When
I'm looking right now.
A Thursday. It's a
Mum's
Thursday this
Thursday.
year. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's cool. You could go there first and be ready for the Friday, because we only do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
There we go. Wonderful.
There
Well, I
you
would.
go.
I'm honoured that you invite me and you want me at such a thing. I will absolutely come, and we could do some. I don't know. At least have some fun and eat some fish and some chips.
Indeed, indeed.
The
Yeah,
most
and some
British
proper-
thing you could do.
And eat some real English food, like a curry. I
Yeah.
miss that real English food.
Well, that's what we did. Fish and chips on Friday. It has to
Fish
be.
on a Friday,
And,
yeah.
and a curry on a Saturday. We did it. And pizza on a Sunday. And we'll probably stick to that because it works.
All right. Well, I'm good for all three.
Awesome.
Pizza, fish. I can combine the three and have a curry, fish and chip pizza. Oh.
Oh, no.
Fold it over, fold it up. Yeah. Anyway, Mike, it's an absolute pleasure chatting with you tonight, and as always, I miss you. I hope we
Likewise.
get to spend some time together soon.
Likewise.
Gear Street at the very latest. As I've said several times, I plan to come in July. Dan, I don't think you'll be there, but we might all be together at Gear Street if it happens.
Yeah, might be. Yeah. Oh, I forgot one thing.
What's that?
I remember I texted you that I wanted to introduce Mike, and I didn't do it. So shall we do the high praise of the guests at the end of the show?
Oh, that's a good idea. But you're going to get an introduction at the end.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
For everyone who's asking, that was a nice fellow, but who the hell is he?
Who the hell is he?
All right,
Strange
so-
bloke.
There's not the high praise. I've got a couple notes, but I thought that they might be funny, or I don't know, just so to give you. I'm switching to my ASMR voice, and all right. So Mike rose to YouTube fame as Chinese guitar skeptic who demystified Gibsons, PRS Les, or fake Martins, but also made the point that not all counterfeits are necessarily bad guitars by heavily gigging with them. Later on, he would leave the AliExpress adventures behind and focus more on gear demos, mingling on YouTuber events, and just doing whatever he likes to do within the guitar realms. Mike is also a lovely guy and one of the hardest working men in the YouTuber biz. If there is some sort of gear fest, chances are that the guy in the back who is tirelessly demoing gear through his live rig is actually Mike. Lastly, Mike is the organizer of the yearly British Boutique Guitar Festival, a 3-day guitar show, which just recently was held in its second installment and will take place in its third installment in July of this very year. We've been very happy to talk to you, Mike, and if there was anything wrong, let me know, but I hope this kind of summed up what your YouTuber and social media career was about so far.
That was beautiful. And Valerie's right. You're going to make me cry. So I will say no more other than thank you so much, Dan. That was lovely.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
You know, he never says that about me, Mike. He never gives me introductions or outroductions.
You never ask me about that. So
no, the one that I have in my head is you'll never reach that level of one that I've already built in my head. So we'll just leave it in my head.
challenge accepted.
Oh,
Episode 100, you will get the high praise by Dan.
all right. I think I might have to leave at 99. I don't deal well with compliments or attacks. Run away. Right, go and visit CGS Mike on YouTube and go and give him love and send him marvelous congratulations for pulling off what sounds like an amazing show. And he'll be back in July. Dan and I will be back next week. Next week is another show of guitar stories. We've got I guess we've never spoken to before, so someone we don't know. We've got Rob Lang,
Yes, correct.
who works with Music Radar and has edited and done lots of jobs journalistically with guitar magazines. And that is something that Dan and I have been keen to talk about for a very long time, because we should be interconnected and we're not always. So I'm really looking forward to that as a fan of guitar magazines. Dan, do you want to do the thing where you ask people to give us 5 stars and all that sort of stuff?
Of course. If you enjoyed the show, if you enjoyed Mike, Andy, and myself, help us by getting more exposure. Give us a 5-star ratings on iTunes or give us a review on Spotify, so we're able to get more guests on the show and, make it to episode 100. And if you already reviewed us on your phone, just grab your girlfriend's, boyfriend's, dog's cell phone. It doesn't matter.
Dog son.
Mission accepted. All right. So thank you very much in advance.
Right. See you all later. Thank you for hanging out if you're live, and thank you for taking care and listening.
Bye-bye.
If you're not, I will see you soon. Bye, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
Guitar Stories Podcast, your #1 show for every